online world, then their child too struggles. So this is massive for us, because it's about, that digital divide that you've mentioned there. It just keeps creating itself over and over again. We've got to get communities, families out of this. And the way we need to do this is by giving them access to the devices, giving them the data that they need, giving them the learning that they need to be able to move their lives on and to be able to aspire and help their children.
So I was going to ask you what exactly you do and how you get around this. So it is like, first of all, providing the kit, because as you mentioned there is a shortage of it. And I know that a lot of charities, all the charities over the last year have been providing. We ran a scheme here on BBC Radio WM, asking people to provide laptops, their old laptops and tablets for people. But then it's being able to use them, isn't it? And so that's because a lot of people can be quite intimidated by technology, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And we try and do our best to actually help people to overcome their fears on this. But we're doing more than that, because it's not just about providing the kit and the data. Digital poverty is a huge thing now, because we've got families who are having to make the choice between buying food this week, or do they buy data because their child needs it to get online to do their home schoolwork. And these are the difficult choices that families are having to make. But for us, it's about really just helping families to find the kit. I mean, over the last year, we've worked with a national organisation in finding families and helping them out with, and these are families through our Connected Families project who need devices. There's a strict criteria to it. It could be simply that they haven't got a device, they haven't got the data, or there's more than a couple of children in there. So there's children, queuing up really to use a device to be able to complete their homework. And then, of course, ensuring that families know how to use those devices too. So the learning that goes along with it.
I mean, all you're just trying to do is just make it a level playing field, I suppose. Now, and you mentioned the language issues as well, which again, I think is something that, a lot of us just don't really think about. But that must be a barrier for so many people.
Yeah, absolutely it is. If you think about it, a parent who struggles with literacy will struggle with digital inclusion. And we've got to remember that when a parent struggles to read, to budget, to access the school newsletter, fill out an online form for their universal credit, their child too is going to struggle with literacy, numeracy and STEM topics as well. And ultimately, our work helps families to connect again. So we're doing more than that. It's not just about providing the devices. We're also looking at ways, different engagement tools and platforms as well, to get some of those families back into learning and to really help them to sort of support each other into learning. And some of this is we've created a short story, a children's storybook, which is a character called Amsty. Some of you may know who Amsty is. Please don't tell on me. Yeah. So Amsty is basically an old computer who lives in a Victorian library in Borsall Heath. And we explore the digital world through his eyes. Right. And that's really helped families to connect. As part of that, there's also a board game that's been created, an online board game, because, of course, the digital world is going that way now. Families are struggling to access job sites and create CVs. So, again, we've got a CV site that we've also created, CV Assistant.
It sounds like...
We have a podcast.
Sorry. I mean, you've got everything covered. So have you got a phone number? Yeah. So if there's someone listening now who wants more information, how do they contact you if they're not online? Have you got a contact phone number?
Yeah, I'm going to actually give you our contact website, which is very easy to remember, and it's simply getfamiliestalking.co.uk, because that's what our work is doing. It's getting families talking.
But what about the people who haven't got the access to that?
Right, if they haven't got access to it, I'm going to give you a mobile number, which is 07766 448 447.
Brilliant. 07766 448 447. It's excellent the work that you're doing. Thanks ever so much for coming on this morning. Hafsa Sheikh, they're founder and director of Smart Lives, just helping disadvantaged people in Borsall Heath just to get them up online and to be able to just try and... My daughter does everything for me. Anything I'm not sure of, it's like, come here, Dad. And she sorts me out, you know. So it's BBC Radio WM. It is 7:52. Weather-wise, mainly dry and bright day today. Plenty of sunny spells mixed in with the occasional shower this afternoon. Maximum temperature 11 degrees Celsius, 52 degrees Fahrenheit.